Hey St. Louis Boxing Club, I'm Heather, and this is your quick upper body stretch. One piece of optional equipment, I've grabbed a yoga block. If you don't have one of those, you can substitute with a small pillow or cushion or even one of your boxing gloves. We're going to focus on the upper body to really try and counteract all of the repetitive postures that we do throughout the day, and even some of the repetitive postures that we get in when we're doing our boxing workout. So when you're ready, we're going to come into hero pose. Once we get there, if you don't like it, you can come back to a seated position either on the ground or in a chair. We just have one stretch here in hero. So we're coming into onto our shins, bent knees, hips come back towards the heels. You could always use your block, cushion, or even your glove underneath your hips to give you a little bit of support. We're going to start with the neck. So we're going to take a nice big wide stance out with the arms, get a little bit of a stretch, look up, open up through the chest space. And then take that left wrist over to the right hip. Grab it with the right hand, and then start to lean the right ear over towards your right shoulder. So you're still looking forward. This is a true side bend. Really getting into the side of the neck here, often holding tension in those traps with stress or just with repetitive movement. Keep the side bend, and then start looking down towards your right thigh. So now we've added some rotation into that side bend. Concentrate on your breath, really breathing in, filling the lungs, big exhales out. We want to fuel the muscles that are working here, getting some length. Come back to that side bend, hopefully feeling a little bit of a difference, and then come back in center. Let's get the other side. So big stretch, open, maybe even lift the heart, lift the chin, and then this time take the right wrist over to the left hip, grab it with the left hand, and then take your left ear to your left shoulder. So different side, different experience. Notice side to side as we go. You'll usually have one that's a little tighter. Be patient with that. Breathe into it. So holding that nice side bend, faces forward to start. And then now tilt your nose down towards your left thigh. Look down at the thigh. Feel that stretch really change. Take a deep breath. Keep the posture nice and tall. Chest open. Come back ear to shoulder, feel that side bend one more time, and then release it back into neutral. Do a little shake out of your arms. Stay on the shins, or if you weren't there, come to them. Bring the toes together, knees as far apart as it's comfortable for child's pose. So find a forward fold here. Let the forehead fall to the floor. Now again, if this feels a little inaccessible, you could always use your cushion or your block or your glove underneath your head to help. We're going to stretch through those muscles around the shoulder blade here a little bit. So walk over to your left side, anchor your right hip, and really crawl those right fingertips up and over. So feel this really nice opposition. Again, as you reach your right hip down, crawl your right fingertips over and feel the stretch around the shoulder blade on the right. We really utilize these muscles a ton when we're boxing. So it feels really good to get that stretched out. Come back in center, take it to the other side. So walk over to the right. Now anchor the left hip down, crawl the left fingertips over, get that length around that shoulder blade. We're getting bonus into the hips and thighs too. Come back in center, take a breath. Make your way to table pose, so hands under shoulders, knees underneath hips. We're gonna keep the hips up on top of the knees and then slide the hands forward for puppy pose. So once you get down, let the forehead go, let the chest fall. So find this big arch in your back, tailbone towards the sky, and then crawl the fingertips forward even more, and then bend the elbows. Bring fingertips to shoulder blades. You could even walk those elbows out a little bit more. Really get that length in underneath the shoulder, into the tricep. Big breath. And then release the palms down. Make your way onto your belly. We're gonna get into the chest here. So take the right fingertips, reach them all the way out so you've teed out your arm here. You're gonna box out your left arm. So I've got a bend in the elbow, I've got my fingertips to the floor, bend the left knee. And then push into those fingertips, come up and over on that right side chest, bring your left toes over that right leg. And then play with the position of the right hand. You could walk it up or even down to change that pec stretch. Breathe here. Embrace that length. Again, maybe every breath or two, changing the position of the hand to get a different stretch, or maybe right there center is plenty and it's great. Stay. One more breath. Come back in center, let's switch sides. So now I'm gonna lengthen out through my left arm, box out my right, bend my right knee, and then come up and over and find that chest stretch on the other side. So a little press in through this top hand. Open up through the chest here. Again, you could wiggle that hand up or down to change the stretch, or keeping it centered in that T could be plenty. One more breath. Come back in center. And then come up and swing the legs around in front of you. Let's come onto our backs. Grab your block or your cushion or your glove, whatever you have, and then lay over onto your right side. Bring it in between the thighs, and then stack the palms. So let the head rest. We're gonna keep the knees stacked, the hips stack, that object, whatever you have, add a little squeeze to it so you know that the knees aren't gonna change their position, and then take that top arm, come up and over. So let's really emphasize that chest stretch again. So again, you can play with the position of your arm. For me, if I come up, I feel a different stretch, but I also love just coming right out into that T. Peek down, make sure the knees didn't change. It'd be easy to slide this top hip back, but we want to keep them stacked. Breathe into that stretch. Try to relax through the chest. So we're working on rotation through that upper back and also the chest stretch, so a little multitasking. Come back in center. Let's switch to the other side. So now come over and lay on your left side. Keep the object between the thighs, stack the palms, keep the knees stacked, and then open up that right arm up and over. So notice one side always is gonna be more accessible than the other. Make sure that that right hip didn't pull back. Your hips are totally stacked. Get into that pec. So for some, this could be really strong in through the pec muscle. It could be really strong in through the upper back or even midsection a little bit. Embrace it all. Come back in center. You can take that block or pillow out, set it to the side, and then lay all the way out. Let's go into one more position. We're gonna find what feels like a little bit of a banana. So walk the heels over towards the right, and then cross the left ankle over the right ankle. And then start to do a little walk of the shoulders over to the right, reach the arms up. Take the left wrist in the right hand, and then add a little hug up and over, really stretching through that side body. So it really goes from the waistline all the way up into that left arm. Face is relaxed. Eyes could even be closed. Get that really nice stretch. Release it, come back in center. Take it to the other side. So heels go to the left side, and then right ankle crosses over. Now walk the shoulders over towards the left. Reach up. Grab the right wrist with the left hand. Relax the face. Get that really nice stretch. Breathe. So try to anchor the right shoulder down on the floor. It'd be easy for it to want to come up. Maybe even do a little pull left toes, hug that right ankle over. One more breath here. And then come back in center, do a full body stretch, reach fingertips to toes, maybe arch the back. And then hug the knees in, rock yourself up once you get to seated. One more little adjustment. So anytime during your day, if you're feeling like the posture isn't good, feel this nice position where you go up, back, and around with the shoulders. So lift them up. It's almost like you're shrugging. Let's set them back and all the way around to open up that really nice posture we just worked on. Thanks so much for stretching with me. See you soon.